Abundance is not something you chase. It is not something you beg for, hustle toward, or plead with the universe to deliver. Yet most people do it anyway, and in doing so, they make the single most critical frequency mistake that silently blocks every possibility of wealth, opportunity, and prosperity in their lives. This mistake is subtle, almost invisible. It doesn't look like failure. It doesn't announce itself with alarms or flashing lights. In fact, it feels responsible, logical, even correct. And that's precisely why it's so powerful. It keeps you locked in low-frequency patterns while convincing you that you are doing everything right. The mistake is this: trying to force abundance while your vibration is rooted in lack. You may say, "I want more money, more opportunities, more success," but internally, the vibration behind that desire is scarcity, worry, or desperation. Quantum physics and consciousness studies both confirm that reality responds to the frequency of your energy, not the words you say or the goals you set. The field doesn't answer the mind, it answers vibration. Think about the classic double-slit experiment. Particles behave differently when observed, collapsing possibilities into one outcome. You are not unlike those particles. Your vibration, the emotional, energetic frequency you emit, collapses probability. When scarcity, anxiety, or tension dominates, the field mirrors that. Efforts to manifest abundance under low-frequency vibration often feel frustrating, slow, or futile, no matter how hard you try. Ancient wisdom echoes this principle. In the I Ching, attachment to outcome is seen as a trap, a blockage that prevents the natural flow of abundance. In Vedanta, desire rooted in need rather than presence binds consciousness to limitation. Modern researchers like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton explain that internal coherence between thought, emotion, and energy is what allows manifestation to occur. Lack-based vibration disrupts this coherence, silently blocking abundance while you remain unaware. The irony is almost cruel. Most people consciously pursue abundance in ways that amplify the block. They work harder, stress more, and cling desperately to results. Scarcity-based effort is a vibration that reinforces exactly what it fears. It's like shouting, "I want more," into a microphone that only broadcasts limitation. The energy you send out collapses into realities of struggle, delay, and scarcity. Relationships, opportunities, and income streams all mirror this vibration. You may network, negotiate, or plan meticulously, but if your underlying frequency is one of need or lack, the outcomes reflect that. Doors seem closed, timing feels off, and progress appears slow. The hidden truth is that manifestation isn't about effort, it's about vibrational alignment. Without it, abundance remains elusive. Even creativity suffers under this frequency mistake. Scarcity blocks insight, dampens intuition, and suppresses innovative solutions. You may have talent, knowledge, or skills, but the energetic misalignment prevents you from accessing the field of possibilities. In other words, the problem isn't how much you work, it's the energy you bring to the work. Scarcity energy is a block, not a motivator. So, how do you recognize this frequency mistake? Start by observing your internal dialogue and emotional state. Do you feel tension, anxiety, or worry when thinking about money, opportunity, or success? Do you attach your sense of self-worth to outcomes or external validation? That is the vibration of scarcity in action. Even subtle resistance to receiving abundance, fear of success, or hesitation around opportunity signals misalignment. Practical recalibration begins with awareness. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Notice the tension, resistance, or fear. Then, pause and shift into high-frequency states: gratitude, appreciation, curiosity, and presence. Even small shifts change your energetic signal immediately, beginning to collapse probability into aligned realities rather than scarcity-driven ones. Another essential practice is detachment from outcome. This doesn't mean apathy or inaction. It means you no longer emotionally anchor yourself to results. You act, create, and contribute from coherent energy, but you allow the field to respond without internal friction. Desire rooted in alignment is magnetic. Desire rooted in lack is draining. One builds, the other blocks. Even your body reflects this frequency. Scarcity-based vibration produces stress responses, elevates cortisol, and fragments nervous system coherence. High-frequency alignment restores balance, enhances clarity, and opens the channels through which opportunity, creativity, and abundance flow naturally. The hidden block isn't just psychological. It is energetic, physiological, and subtle, but it is entirely reversible. Notice the pattern in your life. Moments when abundance flowed easily were likely moments of coherence, presence, and alignment. You weren't forcing results. You were radiating a high-frequency signal that invited the field to respond. Scarcity-based effort, by contrast, is a misalignment. Energy leaks instead of amplifying. Action becomes friction rather than flow. Outcomes resist rather than reflect intention. Even subtle social and environmental cues reinforce this frequency mistake. Stressful workplaces, scarcity-minded peers, and internalized cultural messages around money is hard feed low-frequency vibration. Without awareness, these inputs continuously reinforce the block, keeping abundance perpetually just out of reach. The key is not to change circumstances immediately, but to change your vibrational relationship to them. And here's the invitation. If this resonates on a deep level, if you can feel the hidden energetic block in your own life, pause now and hit subscribe. Doing so is more than joining a channel. It is a signal to your consciousness. Each video acts as an energetic anchor, supporting your awareness, realignment, and collapse of scarcity into coherent abundance. Yet awareness is only the beginning. Understanding the quantum and energetic mechanics of abundance sets the stage, but the real work lies in embodiment. You must cultivate the internal state that signals abundance effortlessly to the field. This means continuous observation, micro-adjustments in thought, emotion, and energy, and deliberate alignment with flow rather than lack. That is where real transformation begins, and that is where part 2 takes us. Scarcity vibration doesn't just block abundance, it quietly sabotages every area of your life. You may notice it in missed opportunities, stalled projects, or strained relationships, but often the pattern is invisible until you learn to read it. The energy of lack subtly reshapes your reality, collapsing probability into outcomes that mirror limitation rather than possibility. Consider opportunities first. Scarcity creates friction in timing, perception, and action. You might know the right step to take, the connection to make, or the decision to pursue, yet hesitation, fear, or doubt causes delay. The energy leak from scarcity subtly disrupts alignment, so doors appear closed, people seem uncooperative, and breakthroughs are postponed. It's not bad luck, it's your vibration shaping the outcome. Relationships feel the impact as well. Scarcity vibration projects need fear and attachment onto interactions. Conversations may become transactional, connections superficial, and intimacy shallow. Even when love, support, or friendship is present, low-frequency energy fragments the interaction, creating tension and subtle distance. Energy that could flow freely into connection instead dissipates into doubt, judgment, and expectation. Creativity and problem-solving are similarly affected. Scarcity vibration clouds perception, reduces clarity, and suppresses insight. You might brainstorm endlessly, generate ideas, or plan meticulously. But if your energetic signal is rooted in fear or lack, inspiration stalls, solutions feel out of reach, and innovation becomes laborious. Energy that should circulate freely through insight is trapped in self-imposed limitation. Even the mind itself is a battlefield under scarcity. Thoughts loop in cycles of not enough, too late, or I can't. These loops feel inevitable, even logical, yet they are vibrations fragmenting your energy. Every repetition of doubt or fear deepens the energetic block, creating a feedback loop that continuously collapses probability into limitation. The field reflects exactly what you broadcast, moment by moment, thought by thought. Recalibration begins with observation. Awareness is the first and most essential step, noticing when scarcity vibration arises without judgment. Where do you feel tension, constriction, or anxiety? What thoughts trigger hesitation, fear, or neediness? These are energetic markers of misalignment. Observation alone begins to weaken the block, because consciousness reorganizes energy simply by noticing it. Breath and presence amplify recalibration. Deep, rhythmic inhalations and exhalations restore nervous system coherence, stabilize heart-brain alignment, and anchor attention in the present. Even 2 minutes of deliberate breathing interrupts the energetic friction of scarcity, allowing your frequency to shift toward abundance. Presence reconnects you with the flow of possibility rather than the static of lack. Emotionally, the shift requires moving from need-based desire to appreciation-based desire. Desire rooted in fear, lack, or attachment creates friction. Desire rooted in curiosity, gratitude, or confidence emits high-frequency vibration that aligns with abundance. Practically, this looks like noticing opportunities and feeling excitement rather than anxiety, appreciating what is already present, and acting from flow rather than desperation. The subtle power of gratitude cannot be overstated. Gratitude isn't a polite habit. It is a high-frequency signal that reorients your energy. By consistently acknowledging what is already aligned in your life, you send a vibrational signal to the field that collapses probability into abundance rather than scarcity. This is why gratitude journals, heart coherence practices, or conscious appreciation exercises are not nice-to-haves. They are energetic recalibrators that reverse the hidden block silently siphoning energy. Detachment from outcome is another key practice. Scarcity thrives on attachment. When you cling to results or define self-worth by external achievements, your vibration fragments. Acting from alignment rather than need allows the field to respond without interference. You still engage, contribute, and pursue, but you no longer feed the energetic drain of desperation. The shift is subtle, internal, and deeply powerful. Micro-adjustments in thought and focus reinforce the recalibration. Catch yourself during moments of doubt or lack-based thinking. Interrupt the pattern immediately with awareness, breath, and attention to abundance. Energy that once leaked into limitation is now reclaimed and redirected. Over time, these small, consistent recalibrations build a new default state, coherent, magnetic, and aligned with abundance. Even your environment can amplify or inhibit frequency alignment. Scarcity-minded influences, whether media, peers, or habitual environments, reinforce low-frequency vibration. High-frequency embodiment requires both internal recalibration and selective attention to external inputs. Aligning energy includes curating what enters your field, conversations, media, and experiences that resonate with flow rather than friction. The hidden cost of ignoring this vibration mistake is profound. Years of energy lost to subtle scarcity, invisible hesitation, and low-frequency loops can compound into patterns that feel permanent. Missed opportunities, strained relationships, creative blocks, and financial delays are all manifestations of this hidden tax. Awareness and recalibration reverse the effect, but only when practiced consistently and consciously. A practical tool is to conduct daily vibrational audits. Observe recurring thoughts, feelings, and patterns that signal scarcity. Note where resistance, fear, or neediness arises. Then apply breath, presence, gratitude, and detachment to reclaim energy in real time. Over days and weeks, energy returns to full circulation, internal coherence stabilizes, and abundance flows with less effort. Another tool is to consciously embody abundance as identity, not as a goal. Speak, think, and act as though your energy is already aligned with prosperity. Observe micro-responses to challenges, tension, resistance, or doubt, and immediately recalibrate. Energy that once drained into limitation now powers creativity, action, and manifestation. Your vibration becomes magnetic rather than reactive. Subtle feedback appears quickly. Opportunities that once seemed blocked start to open. Relationships feel easier. Insights arrive spontaneously. Your body and mind feel lighter, more energized, and more resilient. This is the tangible reflection of recalibrated frequency. The hidden block begins to dissolve as energy flows freely. And here is the invitation. If this resonates, pause now and hit subscribe. This channel is not just about information. It is a field designed to interact with your vibration, helping you notice blocks, reclaim energy, and collapse probability into abundance. Each video supports practical, real-time alignment, amplifying coherence in ways that directly influence your reality. Yet the journey doesn't end with awareness and practice. Identity-level embodiment is the final frontier. Recognizing the scarcity vibration and recalibrating energy is powerful. But true mastery comes when your default state is abundance, alignment, and coherent frequency. That is where part 3 takes us: full embodiment, energy sovereignty, and effortless manifestation. True mastery of abundance begins when high-frequency alignment becomes your identity rather than a practice. At this level, you no longer chase opportunities, hustle harder, or try to force wealth into existence. You are abundance. Energy flows through you effortlessly, collapsing probability into realities that match your frequency. The hidden block disappears because scarcity no longer defines your vibration. Resistance and scarcity will still appear, but they become temporary signals rather than structural limitations. Tension, doubt, or fear are noticed, observed, and released immediately through breath, presence, and gratitude. Energy that once leaked now circulates freely into creation, clarity, and manifestation. You are no longer drained, you are empowered. Your identity shifts profoundly. You are no longer someone seeking abundance or trying to manifest. You become a coherent, magnetic presence, an energetic hub that attracts opportunities, relationships, and resources naturally. Scarcity vibration no longer anchors your perception. Instead, your field mirrors the high-frequency signal you emit. Life begins to reflect abundance automatically. Relationships transform under this alignment. The subtle tension and neediness that scarcity once produced dissolve. Conversations flow effortlessly, interactions are magnetic, and alignment becomes the default. People respond to your coherence, mirroring the abundance you radiate. Energy that was previously lost in friction now circulates through connection, support, and mutual growth. Opportunities and finances accelerate similarly. Timing, insight, and synchronicity align with your coherent vibration. Decisions that once felt stressful or risky now feel effortless. Doors open naturally because your energy is magnetic rather than fragmented. Manifestation becomes a reflection of alignment rather than effort, struggle, or desperation. The hidden cost of scarcity is replaced by flow, clarity, and abundance. Even your body responds. Chronic stress, fatigue, and low-energy states diminish as coherence stabilizes heart-brain alignment and restores nervous system balance. Subtle practices, breath, presence, and emotional awareness anchor high-frequency states in both physiology and consciousness. Energy flows, vitality rises, and mental clarity becomes effortless. Creativity and intuition flourish. Scarcity once clouded insight and suppressed innovative thought. Now, high-frequency alignment opens channels to possibility. Ideas, solutions, and opportunities arrive effortlessly because your energy is no longer blocked. The mind operates as a coherent instrument, attuned to flow, abundance, and quantum possibility. Embodiment at this level is continuous. Micro-adjustments in thought, emotion, and focus stabilize frequency. Awareness of tension or resistance triggers immediate realignment. Gratitude, appreciation, and detachment become default responses, not conscious exercises. Energy that previously leaked into limitation now powers creation. You are not manifesting from effort. You are manifesting from coherence. The most profound shift occurs in identity. You are no longer the person defined by lack, worry, or struggle. You are a coherent, high-frequency being capable of sustaining abundance in every area of life. This identity-level embodiment ensures that scarcity cannot take hold because your default state is alignment. Life mirrors this identity naturally, effortlessly, and continuously. Practical tools for sustaining this embodiment include daily vibrational audits, consistent observation of thoughts and emotions, and alignment practices such as heart coherence, gratitude, and presence. Each recalibration reinforces identity-level frequency, gradually solidifying high-frequency alignment as your new default. Energy no longer leaks, it amplifies creation. Subtle feedback appears almost immediately. Opportunities that once felt blocked manifest effortlessly. Relationships flow. Creative insights arise spontaneously. Your body hums with vitality. The hidden block of scarcity dissolves as energy circulates fully. Life begins to reflect the abundance already inherent in your vibration. And here is the invitation. Subscribing here is not just a click. It is an energetic signal to your consciousness. Each video interacts with your field, helping you observe scarcity, reclaim energy, and inhabit high-frequency alignment. You are entering a space designed to amplify coherence, collapse probability into abundance, and sustain identity-level alignment in every moment. Mastery is ongoing. Life will always present opportunities for misalignment, moments of resistance, and subtle scarcity signals. But when coherence becomes identity, these moments are temporary and easily recalibrated. Energy flows instead of leaking, creation unfolds instead of stalling, and abundance becomes the natural reflection of your vibration. Remember this, abundance is not about chasing, pushing, or forcing. It is about frequency, coherence, and identity. By observing scarcity, recalibrating energy, and embodying alignment, you collapse probability into abundance effortlessly. The number one frequency mistake is no longer a trap. It becomes a lesson, a signal, and a catalyst for identity transformation. Step fully into this embodiment. Notice resistance, observe scarcity, and realign energy continuously. Act from coherence, not effort. Allow life to reflect the high-frequency signal you now emit. Opportunities, creativity, relationships, finances, and vitality all respond immediately to this shift. You are no longer blocked, you are abundant. Finally, take a moment and anchor this truth. Energy, frequency, and identity are inseparable. By mastering your vibration, you master the flow of abundance itself. Resistance dissolves, scarcity evaporates, and your life mirrors coherence. You are no longer chasing, you are being. Energy is yours to command, to circulate, and to manifest effortlessly into reality.